later, Beyonce posted this handwritten note on Instagram, congratulating her fellow performers. What a proud day for African-American women. And the Super Bowl will go down in history as the most watched ever, with an estimated 115 million viewers. It also lit up Twitter, generating the most tweets of any Super Bowl, 24.1 million. The peak moment came as Beyonce was wrapping up the halftime show, when Twitter recorded 268,000 messages per minute. One came from First Lady Michelle Obama herself. Watching the Super Bowl with family and friends, Beyonce was phenomenal. I am so proud of her. Now, back to that power outage. Here's our special Super Bowl correspondent, Catherine Webb.
Everyone's going crazy trying to figure out what is going on.
60-minute sports cameras were in the control room at the Superdome the moment the lights went out.
All right, we lost lights.
Confusion reigned as producers tried to figure out what was going on.
We lost the A feed.
What does that mean?
That means about a 20-minute delay.
I caught up with Miyoshi Johnson, wife of Baltimore Ravens player Chris Johnson. What is your husband going through, do you think, having to pause this game?
It's hard. It's hard to be so up right after halftime. You're down for, trying to get your breath and then to start all over. I'm pretty sure right now he's an emotional roller coaster.
Officials released a statement explaining power to the Superdome was cut after, quote, a piece of equipment that is designed to monitor electrical load sensed an abnormality in the system. When the lights came back on, so did the San Francisco 49ers, who had a come-from-behind surge.
Touchdown!
The longest Super Bowl in history was a nail-biter, but in the end, the Ravens were crowned Super Bowl champs. Coach John Harbaugh bested his younger brother Jim, the first brothers to face off as Super Bowl coaches.
How hard was it going against your brother out there?
It was really hard, and I'll tell you, at the end of the game was the hardest thing I've ever experienced.
What did you say to him?
I told him I loved him.
For their parents, it was a win either way.
You can practically still hear the cheers coming from Baltimore as the Ravens return to a hero's welcome. Fans partying, literally dancing on top of cars there.
Jubilation on the field as the triumphant Ravens celebrate their Super Bowl win. One of the players even makes a snow angel in the confetti. And this was the crazy scene back home in Baltimore. Fans poured out onto the streets and danced on the roofs of cars. The city's bars were packed for the big game, but the blackout brought the party to an abrupt halt. America watched and waited for the lights to come back on and play to resume. Some were very inventive.
The lights are off at the Super Bowl, so this is how we're passing the time.
Check out this YouTube video.
Get the ball! Get the ball! Good boy!
How I Met Your Mother star Neil Patrick Harris tweeted this picture sitting in the Superdome in the dark with 2.5 Men's John Cryer. All the lights are out. It's pandemonium. It was a weekend of nonstop partying in New Orleans. Justin Timberlake, looking dapper in a black tux, took to the stage for his first performance in 5 years. And that's Paul McCartney dancing with his wife Nancy at a Rolling Stone magazine party. Our special correspondent, Catherine Webb, was a guest at the NFL Honors Party.
This is crazy. I'm having such a good time. So we'll see what happens.
And yes, there were also commercials during the game. A little bit later in the program, we'll dissect the best and the worst, and you may be surprised to hear some of the answers. In other news today, President Obama has pledged to make gun control a hallmark of his second term, but the photo the White House released this weekend apparently is not helping. Paul Boyd on the many ways a picture of the president's skeet shooting seems to have backfired on the White House.
This official photo from the president's skeet shooting came with a warning straight from the White House. May not be manipulated in any way. But the picture has become red meat to pranksters everywhere. In this spoof, flowers come out of the barrel. And check out that bang sign. Here, someone's taken the rifle and reversed it. In this scene, it looks as if the president is a character in Grand Theft Auto. Some experts are wondering whether the president was aiming a little low for a skeet shooter. Compare his almost horizontal gun to the shooters in these YouTube videos.
You definitely wouldn't be pointing it at the ground, but you could be pointing it straight ahead from you. So that's entirely possible.
We asked skeet expert John Herkowitz of Pacific Sporting Arms outside Los Angeles to rate the president's technique.
President Obama's a novice shooter. That's pretty obvious from the photo. He's standing up fairly straight, head's on the gun fairly properly, cheek down on the gun, leaning forward into the gun a little bit, but he's up a little bit too straight. If you did shoot that way for a long, long time, it'd probably be a little painful in your shoulder.
The debate over gun control was on everyone's mind Sunday night when the Sandy Hook Elementary School chorus sang America the Beautiful with Jennifer Hudson at the Super Bowl. The children all wore green ribbons in memory of the victims at their school. Emotions ran high as the children sang.
A tragic end for a man